Hey, what's up, guys? It's Apollo Uchiha here, back with a new movie. The name of this movie is What If Naruto Was Sword, Saint of Kumo, and yeah, guys, it's an unscripted movie as well. And before continuing this, I would like to tell you guys that I have taken 6 ideas and from the comment section, and I will be making them in the next week. So yeah, stay tuned for that. I just really like those ideas, and while I was making a story about one of them, I kinda made a whole new story again. Yeah, I know I have a problem with this stuff, but yeah, it happened. And here it is. I hope you enjoy it, and if you do, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you like the content of this channel. And without further ado, let's begin with our story. Story begins 6 years later after the QB attack in Konohagakure no Sato. As we go towards Hyuga compound to see some of the shinobis dressed in all black moving around suspiciously in the compound, as it was night time and there was a celebration going on there, as many of the clan heads were there as well, and the fourth Okage and his family, Minato Namikaze, Kushina Uzumaki, his wife, and their 3 children, the prodigal twins, Menma and Mito, who were born 2 years ago and were the Jinchuriki of Kyubi no Yoko. As for Naruto, the ordinary one, the one that was always forgotten, who was born on October 10th, the day the QB attacked. As the family was just sitting there, as Naruto was all by himself, as his friend whose birthday party he was attending, Hinata, has just gone back to her room to sleep with one of her attendants, as suddenly a scream was heard in the compound. As everyone dashed towards the room, it was coming towards from Hinata's room to see that a man dressed in all black leaving the room with a sack on his shoulder. As the clan head Hyuga Yashida said, "Get him!" as he knew what was going on. In the sack was his daughter, the clan heir. As many of the Yuga's shinobis alongside the Anbus went after them and caught them. But before any questioning, Hyuga Hayashi was so enraged that he executed them on the spot. And the one who escaped from them alive informed this to Raikage what happened, fabricating everything. As after that, a Kage summit was called between Kumo and Konoha in the Land of Iron, the neutral grounds for all the villages, in which decisions about important regarding other villages and its leaders were made. As after 1 month, Minato was there, and so was A, as they were sitting. Now A was the newly reinstated Raikage just a month ago, as the previous Raikage suffered a heart attack and died. He, being his son, was elected because he was the strongest shinobi they had at the time. "Oh, I'm sorry for your loss," said Minato after hearing the news. Yeah, I know, I get it. My old man dumped the job on me and hit the bucket. So, let's get down to business, shall we, Okage? Yes, that will do, Raikage. You killed our shinobis and didn't imprison them. You could have sent them back to us, but you didn't. So, for that we need compensation, as per the wishes of my old man. So, he wants either a Yuga or some other shinobi, a child that he can train. And he will cut ties with your family and your village altogether. As Minato's eyes widened, he was thinking now carefully, what can he do? Okay, if a Yuga doesn't agree, then whose child shall be given? We don't care, anyone's, but it should be from a clan, nonetheless. As Minato then thought hard about this and said, "I will inform you within a week. We will meet here again, if that is fine with you. I will be staying in the Land of Iron until then, Hokage. I hope you can keep up to your name, Yellow Flash. You have a week's time. That's all I need," said Minato. As saying goodbye to the Iron Country's leader and Raikage, Minato left with his entourage back to Konoha because it was 2 days travel back there. As after 3 days, a meeting was called as everyone was sitting inside Konoha's council chamber. The civilians, the clan heads, and the elders. As Minato then spoke, "Well, things are not looking good for us. The previous Raikage's son, Ace, has been elected 1 month ago because the previous Raikage died, and he left a will that this should be executed at all cost. Well, either they want a Yuga or a clan head child. What? We're not giving our children, said Tizumi, and the rest of the clan heads nodded, following her suit, as did Hiyashi. Then what should we do? As one of these villains then said, there was a kid, that Uzumaki kid that was your son, that was born the day QB was released. Yeah, he's been nothing more than a curse to us. Why don't we just dump him on them? They want a clan head children, right? He's a child of your clan. What about that, Hokage-sama? As Minato for a moment stopped. Has he ever paid attention to Naruto? And so did Kushina, who was there. Her eyes widened. Wait, her son. Why hadn't she thought about him at all? As both parents were thinking about this, the council didn't give them a time, as the iron was hot, though, so they hit the hammer. As Donovan said, then it is agreed here, as we will all vote that your son, the youngest one, will go there, since he doesn't hold the QB or a part of it, and is thought to be a curse by everyone. As to everyone's surprise, even the Hiruzen agreed to this, as did one by one all of their friends. As after the meeting ended, the fate of Naruto, Uzumaki, and Namikaze had been decided. As the mother was quite shocked, and so was father. They didn't have enough time to think. They had to act fast. They had to leave because they only had 3 days left now. As Minato then said to one of his Anbu, I want you to go and call all 3 of my children here. As after half an hour, the 3 kids entered. Naruto was quite surprised and a little bit hopeful and happy that his family called him, while he was being ignored for the past 3 to 4 years now, for the 6 years of his life, as he was standing there alongside his 2-year-old siblings, as both of them were looking at him as if he was a loser, a stain to their name, their family's name. As Kushina then saw the look in her children's eye and knew that it would be the best, as Minato started to form words that how this conversation could go, and he didn't like where it was going. As he was about to speak, Kushina then said, putting a hand on his shoulder, indicating that she will tell him, Naruto, you are stripped from Uzumaki and Namikaze clan, she said in a cold voice, as Naruto's eyes widened. Time stopped for him, and that is not only it. You will be leaving for Kumo. You are stripped from Konoha citizenship and everything. And our family as well. As Naruto just stood there, wide-eyed, looking at all of them with a look that said, how could you? As he was betrayed by all of them, his own parents and family. As Naruto then looked down, he didn't know what to do. He was powerless. He hasn't been able to activate his chakra because no one was there for him to tell him how to. As Minato then said, Anbu, please guide Naruto and take this scroll as well to Kumo. Deliver him there. It will be done, Hokage-sama, said Team Ro as they vanished, putting a hand on Naruto's shoulder, as Naruto's eyes were on all of them, as Menma was smirking and Mito was laughing outright, saying that he deserved it, every bit of it. They were innocent at the time and they didn't knew what they were thinking, or what kind of step they had just taken. As many thoughts were racing through his mind, as Naruto was being taken to Kumo, he was thinking along the lines, why? Why him? Wasn't his life a hell in its own right already? People thinking him of a curse and avoiding him at all costs. And not only that, his only friend. Because of his only friend this happened. No, he couldn't blame Hinata, it was his family. As Naruto cleared the whole way towards Kumo, thinking along these lines, he didn't talk to anyone, not even the Anbu. As after delivering Naruto inside the Raikage's office and giving him the scroll, the Anbus left. As Naruto was standing there, as he was looking at him with contemplating eyes. What a joke. They sent a kid that can't even use a chakra, and he has been stripped from the clan rights and his clan. So much for Uzumaki's. they'll be rolling in their graves. I asked for a kid to stay here, not to be just kicked out of everything. And then he had an idea. Good. Good job, Konoha. I will make him so strong that you will tremble and make you regret your choices, said A as he looked at Naruto. Oi, little kid. Yes, right, Kage-sama. Naruto said, getting out of his stupor. Do you want to become strong? What? I said, do you want to become strong? Yes, definitely. Then, from today onwards, you will be training with my brother B and his team, which consists of 4 genin. 1 Chunin and 3 genin. Their names are Yujito Ni and Dari, Kari, and Samoe. Can you deal with them? Yes, anything you wish for, Raikage-sama. Now go. From today onwards, you're Naruto of Kumo. Remember that, kid, said A as Naruto was about to leave. Hi. A-sama. As after that, Naruto left, with a guard that showed him his apartment where he will be staying. As Naruto, after getting to his apartment, hugged his knees and started to cry, letting the dam that he was holding back, full of tears, broke. Back in Konoha, both of the older siblings, were enjoying their life as they had finally gotten rid of the curse and stain in their family's name. As Minato and Kushina were sitting there quietly. As this was going on, Jiraiya arrived, alongside Tsunade, and surprisingly even Orochimaru. Orochimaru, what are you doing here? Relax, Minato. I am here for a reason, because Manda has given me a prophecy. And I have been by Katsuyu as well, says Tsunade. That is the reason why I came. Yeah, me too, by Gamamaru-sama. Come inside, said Minato, as he was still cautious about Orochimaru, as the 3 of them sat down. So, what is this prophecy? We have discussed it, and we think that is one of your children. Ah, I see, said Minato, getting a little bit happy and off-minded from Naruto and the whole thing that happened. What is this prophecy? It's about a child that will destroy Konoha. It is said in the prophecy, those who abandoned him, those who cursed him, will pay. He will come back with a power never seen before, so strong that the world shall tremble under his feet. His eyes cold blue steel, his golden hair burning like sun, his swords stained with blood. The world shall know pain, true pain. What? But what about the previous prophecy? It has been invalidated. What did you do, Minato? What did you do to cause this to happen? Said Jiraiya in a serious tone as Kushina was sitting down. Nothing. It was a Kumo incident that happened, and I was called by Raikage in Iron Country, and when I went there, we found a way to resolve things without war, and Naruto being not able to activate his chakra and all that, and being taught of a curse by everyone, I thought it would be best for him to go there. But what did you do to him that enraged him to no end, that will cause him to destroy this world? I think I know what I did, said Kushina. I stripped him from Konoha's citizenship and our clans. You took away a kid's family and everything, the kid that you willingly ignored, Minato, said Jiraiya. It's all my fault. Jiraiya said. He stood up. What do you mean, Sensei? I should have never trusted you, Minato. I should have never told you about the prophecy. Things have changed, and for the worst, and there's nothing we can do now. Wait, Sensei, isn't there a way to reverse? No, Minato. I talked to even Manda and Katsuyu-sama and even Gamamaru-sama. They said we should pray and wait for our demise, and hopefully it will pass in a blink of an eye and a painless death. There's nothing we can do to change it now. As Minato's eyes widened, and so did his siblings who were listening to it, as they could never imagine their kind-hearted brother, who they thought of as a stain, would come back such viciously. And then they thought there hard that they need to train so they will be able to protect their family and maybe change him and sway him back to their family and path as well. As Kushina was now crying, both of her hands on her face as she was thinking what she had done. She thought it would be best for Naruto since he will be loved there, but now it seems that it has only caused rift in between their family, and not only that, they lost their son to darkness, the thing they hated the most. As Orochimaru then stood up and said, "You disgust me to no end. You have no right to say that." "Yeah, I know, and yet I am disgusted by you. Think about that, Minato. How much lower have you fallen?" And with those words, Orochimaru left. As Jiraiya stood up, "I guess I'll be leaving as well. I need to go to Kumo now and have a talk with the kid and maybe apologize as well." "Sensei, wait. What about Menma and Mito?" Menma and Mito. Get your head out of the gutter, Minato. You have another son who is going to cause destruction to the whole world out there. Our shinobi system is ruined, and I'm going to correct that mistake that you two made, and I made ultimately, by telling you the things I shouldn't have told. Ezra left. "You're such a disappointment, Minato," saying these words before he left the door. As Minato looked down, Tsunade then stood up. "You are a stain in the names of Uzumaki, Kushina. You as well, children, because your veins flow with the blood of Uzumakis, just like me, a half one. And yet you abandoned your own kin. Disgusting. Mito-sama will be rolling in her grave right now, and so will be your mother and father." As goosebumps came to Kushina and everyone who was listening, Tsunade had venom in her voice. "Consider yourself extracted from the clan as well. You have no right to remain in the clan." But, no buts. I am half Uzumaki as well, and older than you. And I am a royalty, while you were nothing more than normal Uzumaki. I have every right to overrule your judgment, Kushina, and I have just did that. You're all stripped from Uzumaki clan, hereby and forever." As saying the words, Tsunade left, as she was now going towards Kumo as well. As we go towards Naruto in the training ground, it has been 1 month since he has been adjusting there, and he was quite having the time now because he had made some friends that he knew will stand by him and not just want to use him because of his power. As when the team found out about this, they were enraged, and even Killer B stopped rapping for a moment. A kid this young, suffering this much? He was amazed at how the kid was holding on to himself like this and not going insane. As he asked Yuki if the child held any darkness, Yuki told him something interesting, that the child's darkness was locked away in another persona that has yet to be awoken. But if that does awoken, God knows what might happen. As Naruto had 2 wooden swords as he was practicing with Karui and Samui. "Not cool, Naruto. Train hard." "I'm trying, Samui," Naruto said, as he got back up and performed a lower swing, which Samui parried away with her sword. As this was going on, and Anbu came down. "Raikage has called you, Naruto, and your team as well, B." "Ah, it seems bro has called us," as they arrived there. "What is it, bro? Why did you call us?" "Naruto, meet Jiraiya of the Sannin from Konoha and Tsunade of the Sannin from Konoha." Naruto flinched but didn't look at them. And Tsunade then mentally cursed Kushina. "Well, thanks a bunch, Kushina. It's going to be hard now." As she bent down to knees, putting both hands on Naruto's shoulders and hugging him close. "Don't worry, kid. I am also a part of Uzumaki, and I know what happened. I know who you are. You are a descendant of Mito Uzumaki and Hashirama Senju, right?" "Yes, so you know about me. And I have the power and authority to rule over your parents, and that is what I did. If you want to, I can reinstate back you into the clan, and I have already expelled them. Naruto's eyes widened. I don't want to leave if that is why you're here, so I don't think I can go back. Listen, kid, I'm not here to take you away, but if you allow me, I will be able to help you, train you to become strong, if that is alright with you. Really? Yes, Raikage. Would you mind if I stayed here for quite a while and teach some of your Konoichi's medical techniques? That will be beneficial for Kumo. And what do you want in return? Money? No. I'll be staying with the kid and teaching him. I have enough funds from Senju clan that I can live, or my next 10 generations can live on. As after saying that, Jiraiya then said, I'm here for only one reason, to bring him back. I'm not going back. I know Naruto. My student has made mistakes, many mistakes, and this is by far his worst that I have ever seen. Truly, he's a disappointment, even though he's seen as a hero. But I promise you this much, that Konoha will not stand in your way. We will never ever try to harm you, not anymore. Naruto didn't say any words. Well, I guess I'll be leaving you here, Hime. I have a lot of things to do. And beware, Raikage, of Katsuki. They are an organization formed by S-rank missing nins. God knows what might they do, or what might they after be. As after saying that, Jiraiya left, leaving the occupants in the room. Time passed, as 6 more years has been passed since then. Naruto living in Kumo, and Tsunade as well, for 6 years stayed in there, as Naruto was now 12 years of age and was quite a prodigy in Kenjutsu. He was able to wield 2 katanas at a time and battle with it, parrying and going offensive at the same time, developing his own twin blade style. As he was resting, Yujito and Samui and Karu are blushing from the side. You know, it is kind of wrong, at the same time feels so right. Yeah, it is so cool and so lame at the same time. Looking at a youngling like this, it's quite amazing that he has so much muscle mass. How did this even happen? Said Yujito. God knows, but it is really a treat to the eyes. They said as Naruto was shirtless as he was sitting down. As Karu then said, I get what you're saying, sister. I don't know why. Yeah, curse those Namikaze Uzumaki genes, said Samui. As Naruto then caught their eyes, as their eyes met, as they suddenly swished behind the tree that they were looking at. As Naruto then said, Samui, Karu, Yujito, you know I can see you, right? You can come out now. As the 3 of them came out. So, what can I do for you? Naruto said as he was putting on his shirt back on. Well, we were hoping that we might go out for a night, said the 3 of them, as the 3 of them were exactly the same age and were 15 and Chunin at the time. As student exams were held in Kumo and they were graduated. As Naruto was now a genin, as he was also part of their team, but a genin. As Naruto said, cool, when can we go now? Like right now? Yeah, if you don't mind, said Yujito, as the 4 of them went towards a restaurant that was there. An high-class restaurant. Naruto paid for all of them, even though he knew that it was difficult. As after paying for all of their meals, Naruto had to bring them back to an apartment that they shared next to him. It was a 3-room apartment, as he had to go there because they were all drunk. Him being a minor, he couldn't right now. Nor until at least he reached at the age of 14, as Karu has said. As the 3 of them entered with the help of Naruto and his clones. Before Naruto could leave them, the 3 of them glomped his clones as they hugged him closely to his chest as Naruto's 2 clones poofed away, getting him the memories of what happened with the other 2, while he was being squashed in the mourns of Yujito. As Naruto blush deepened. What is going on? I really should leave. As Yujito then said, do you hate me that much that you won't even look at me? No, Naruto said. as Naruto's face was red, as Yujito had a blush on her face. Then don't look away. As Yujito grabbed his face with both of her hands and straightened it and smashed her lips onto his, kissing him so deeply and rolling her tongue around with his. As things escalated, Naruto was groping her now from behind, and moans of ecstasy escaped her lips. As this was going on, the door bursted from its hinges to reveal a drunken Karui, and Samui as well, who were wearing now more revealing clothes. Not cool, Yujito. I thought I had my chance. Well, how about a tag team? I'll go first and then, one by one. As Naruto gulped, "Are you up for that, young man?" she said, caressing his groin, as Naruto then said, "I don't hate that." As they went at it whole night, as moans were heard, as B, who was now on the rooftop listening to it with a nosebleed, said, "Lucky bastard. When I'm going to get my own piece of ass?" As Tsunade, who was living next door, was thinking with a twitched eyebrow, "At least I hope they're using protective condoms to do this stuff." As the next morning came, finally, as Tsunade had bag under her eyes and their ceiling was leaking huge amount of blood, it was Killer Beast, who was a pervert and was laying there. As Naruto woke up, he was naked, as he felt a huge burden on his chest and both of his arms and legs. As he saw to the right, it was naked Yujito, to the left was Karui, and on his chest was Samui, hugging him tightly. As the three of them started to wake up, as Naruto was blushing badly, blood gushing to his head, and down there on his third leg as well. As Samui then said, "Cool, you wanna go again?" And that is what they did. Morning sex. And after that, shower sex. And then after having that, they had lunch. All four of them. And went to meet their sensei, who was sitting in the training ground with both of his nostrils stuffed with a lot of tissues. "B sensei, what's wrong?" "Nothing. We're gonna go on a mission with our team, ya fool, and rescue some bitches and get some name. Yeah." "Can't you talk in a normal language?" "Nah, fool, that ain't cool." "Well, let's just go." As Team B then left for a mission to a bandit camp that was nearby and to save some of the Konoichis that were kidnapped by them, as they were all in positions with their earpieces. "This is Captain B. Speak your position, Blondie." "Blondie in position." "Blondie A." "Yes, in position." "Blondie C." "Not cool, but I am in position." "The redhead." "Really? Why do you get Captain B and we get Blondie A, B, C, and then the redhead?" "Just roll with it." "Redhead." "Yes, in position, B sensei." "Okay, Naruto, now attack. Use your twin blade and kill as many as possible." "What?" "Yes, that is the only way you're going to get your first kill. We'll be there for you, promise." As Naruto then dashed inside to see that one of the women getting raped by 8 men, his blood boiled to no end as he unleashed the 2 blades. "What are you doing here, kid? Get out of here. You might want to leave before we do something that you might be scared or scarred for the rest of your life." "I'm already scarred. You can't hurt me," Naruto said as he unsheathed both of his katanas, twin blade style. Whirling ball of fire! As Naruto rotated his blade, creating a vortex of fire, burning all of those men alive to crisp. As the woman was shivering and crying mess, as Naruto went towards her and gave her a blanket. "Here, cover up, ma'am. We're from Kumo. We're here to help." "Thank you so much." Our lady, Lady Kyoki, she's inside as well." "Kyoki?" "Yes, she's the daimyo's daughter from the land of snow." "Okay. Can you show us the way?" As Naruto went downstairs alongside his team into the dungeon to see that Kyoki was tied there and with little clothes as well and torn off. Naruto gave her one of the extra pairs that he had in his backpack as a backup. As after freeing all of her entourage that was only there, Choki thanked him, as Naruto then said, "Nay, sensei, what do you think? Why don't we go and take her back to her village?" That'll be cool, Naruto, said Samui. Thank you so much. It means a lot to me. My guards are dead as well. As Naruto packed all their stuff and gave them all the clothes, and then departed toward the land of snow after giving a letter to Raikage. As they arrived there to see the rebellion going on, fight between each and every shinobi, as Kyoki then said, "Oh no, he has started the rebellion." "What do you mean? My uncle. He wanted the snow country from us and wanted to become the daimyo. But my father didn't agree to that, and nor did my grandfather, and that is why he's starting this rebellion. It's going to kill my family. Everything is over. Should have stayed away, Kyoki. And now you leave me no choice." As the head of her father rolled, as Kyoki screamed, "I'll send you back to your family once I'm done." Before he could speak, a sword was getting out of his skull, rending straight through from his neck to the upper skull. It was thrown by Naruto, who was looking at him with cold blue eyes. "You pathetic excuse of trash. Explode!" As his sword exploded, exploding his head into smears. As the rebellion stopped, once their leader died, and dashed towards Naruto. As suddenly something happened. Naruto's eyes, which were blue, started to glow electric blue, as it was cold ice blue. And swords started to emerge in the sky behind him. As all of them stopped, there were thousands and thousands of swords, which were all golden. As two golden katanas arrived in his hand, as Naruto indicated one katana towards them. "Charge!" As the swords dashed from the sky towards them, impaling all and every one of the army in the chest, which were rebellions. Many thousands of shinobis were impaled that day. As the whole team B stood there, as Killer B was thinking, "Damn, that's a huge power, Killer B. What is it, Gyuki, that power? It's that of a saint. It cannot be. They existed only before the age of shinobi, or before the ninja spread. They're starting to die out when that happened. It can't be possible. It should be impossible, but here it is, in front of my eyes, and I cannot believe it. Is this power dangerous? Far beyond dangerous. These swords that you see, they have the power to even subdue the mighty Ten-Tails that I told you about. You mean the mythical creature? Yes. It can. These are the strongest weapons out there, and we have a sword saint in our hands. Don't get on his wrong side or betray him, B. Now things have turned different." As after doing so, Naruto went towards Kyoki and said, "Everything is alright now. You will be the new leader and guide your people to prosperity and new age," said Naruto, as Kyoki understood what Naruto meant. And the rebellion had ended. 1 week later, as Kumo was staying there and Naruto passing out after that, he was still unconscious as Naruto woke up. "Ugh, where am I?" "Well, took you long, fool. You weren't waking up." "How long up was I out, sensei?" 1 week, you fool. You scared the shit out of us." "Whoa, 1 week, what happened? You don't remember?" "No, I don't. I was just so angry. After seeing so much that I don't know what took over me." Naruto said as his eyes gained the same hue as back then went back to normal in front of B. "Well, kid, everything is fine. You don't have to worry about anything. Why don't we just go back?" "Yeah." As Naruto was about to go, after saying goodbye to Kyoki and everyone else, as Kyoki handed them a scroll. "This is for Raikage. We will be allied to your village thanks to Naruto over here." As Kyoki then went towards Naruto and kissed him on the lips. "I will need you later on, Naruto, to produce an heir." As Naruto blushed even badly, as Kyoki giggled, as the three girls who were his teammate, their eyebrows twitched madly, as they didn't say anything because they were in front of a daimyo and a princess. As after they left, they looked at Naruto. "Oh, aren't you happy that you got a kiss from a princess. Wait, Kari, it's not like that. Yeah, I saw you looking at her. Not cool, Naruto, said Samui. Oh, come on, it really wasn't like that. Well, you won't get any for the next month. What? Kid, you need a lot of learning about the birds and the bees. You mean that thing we did? Oh my god, what have we done? We did it with an innocent kid who didn't knew about this. Snart tilted his head in confusion. I guess now we know that why we liked him so much. Never change, Naruto. Never change and become a pervert like Killer Bee. Huh, okay. As when they returned, Raikage was informed of what happened after Naruto left by the whole team. As after listening to their story about how Naruto awakened so many swords, and Yuki telling him that it was Sword Saint, and Matatabe telling Yujito about the same thing, Raikage was thinking with both hands on his face, as he then said, under his hands looking at the table with a smirk, "Take that, Minato. You thought you lumped me with the trash, but all you did was handed me a diamond that was in a rough. A diamond that is so sharp that it will cut even the fingers of its owner, if the owner did anything bad. Well, your loss, Konoha, and my fortune." As Raikage then said, "So, what do you think, B? Should we promote him to Chunin? Chunin exams are coming up in Konoha later on. We should go there and enroll him in. It will be beneficial for our village and for the world to see that Kumo holds no power." "Yeah, you're right. We will do that." As 1 month passed, and Naruto and his team alongside him departed. "Nay, B-sensei, where are we going?" They hadn't told Naruto because whenever Konoha was brought up, Naruto wouldn't talk. He would just remain silent, and from the way he would do his katas, if he was practicing of genjutsu, he would swipe away a tree with single swish, meaning he was enraged. He was using his burning fury to fuel the strikes. "You'll find out, kid." As after 2 weeks of travel, they arrived in front of Konoha's gates as Naruto was standing there, looking at his teammates with betrayal. "Are you going to abandon me?" "No! What makes you think we're going to do what they did, Naruto? You're here for Chunin exams, and Chunin exams only. After they're done, we're leaving, getting out of it. And you're participating alone, Naruto. I apologize." "I see." As Tsunade was also with them during their journey, as she was quiet because she knew where they were going. "Listen, kid. The reason you are here because you are here for Chunin exams, and aside from that, there is another reason. Because I'm leaving Kumo now." As Naruto sighs, "Are you? No, Naruto. You're like a son to me. And honestly, it hurts me to depart, but I have to go back to Shizune, who was taken in by me before you. And I cannot abandon her." I know, Bachan. I guess I'm being too greedy here. Plus, kiddo, you can always come back to meet me here, or you can send in a letter and we'll have a conversation in a place you like." "Thanks, Bachan. I'll miss you," Naruto said, hugging her, as Tsunade hugged her back. As after that, Naruto entered and went towards the place where Chunin exams were being held. To see that his siblings were also taking a Chunin exams now, he was quite surprised. They were 2 years older than him. But why were they here? Weren't they getting before even him? And why didn't they take Chunin exams? But he wasn't interested in finding out. He was just quite surprised, that's all. As his siblings saw him wearing a kumo headband and the appropriate gear of a shinobi, they were saddened by that. As his sensei has already went to Hokage's office to inform him that a single student will be performing from them. In the Hokage office, while Naruto was standing there, looking at his sibling, meeting their eye, as after reading a scroll, Minato then says, "So he's in the village. So, I want to ask you one thing. Why is he performing alone? I mean, he's not that. He is a prodigy in Kenjutsu." "Oh, Minato said after hearing this from B, who was saying this seriously and without rapping, meaning he was angry as well at the foolishness of this man. I see. Anything else? Nothing we would like to talk about. We just want him to perform, and after seeing his performance, we will grade him. That will be all. Thank you. You can go to the preliminary rounds ground where the preliminary rounds will be held. I see. Thank you. And after that, the team went there. As Minato slumped into his chair, back even more. Really? He was a prodigy. Huh. Why wasn't I able to see that? Because you were too focused, Minato, said Hiruzen, who entered there. Hiruzen-sama. Yes, Minato, it's me. You are too focused on your other children and the prophecy that they will be the savior of the world that you abandoned your son. And you so willingly gave him up that broke the child. Poor boy. He was 6 years of age at the time. How could you do that? I know the stupidity of the villages, and whatever the council might have said, but you? Why would you do this? You were his parent, the one he had looked up to. And he arrived that day, the day you stripped him of everything. You broke his world. I saw his eyes filled with hope, and a little bit smile on his face that I have never seen in the past 6 years. But when he left your office, he was fully covered in tears. But he was silent. His eyes were shedding tears on their own. And that is something dangerous, Minato. Very dangerous in our shinobi line of work. That means he has let you go. As after hearing those words, Minato's eyes widened. He was thinking of reconnecting with his son now, but what Hiruzen was saying, if it was true, no. Maybe it's just Hiruzen's intuition, that's all. Yeah. Naruto couldn't possibly think of that towards his family, right? Will he? Let's just hope for the best. As after that, Hiruzen left. As Minato just stood there looking at his village, as he sighed. What have I done? God. As we go back to the academy in which the test was being held, as Naruto has given his test already after writing it down. Everything. He already knew the answers and the appropriate solutions to the problems that were there. Good kid, you passed, said Morino Ibiki, who was the instructor, as he checked the test then and there, because they have 1 hour left, and Naruto already completed his test. If that is all, I'll be leaving outside, Naruto said with cold blood voice. As Ibiki was unnerved by this, yeah, sure. As Ibiki was looking at Naruto standing outside the room. That kid gives me the creeps, and not many people have been able to do that for a long time. As Mito and Menma were looking down with a sigh. He won't even bother to sit within the same room as us. Well, I guess it's kind of karma that we suffered the same fate that he did. As after the test was done, Naruto was met with Hinata. Hey Naruto, how have you been? Hello Hinata, how have you been? I'm good. It's nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too, Naruto. Well, if that is all, then hope you pass the test next time, and we'll meet each other soon again. As after that, Naruto left towards the Forest of Death, as the race in the Forest of Death began. As then, he felt a malicious chakra inside the Forest of Death. As he went there to see, it was none other than Zetsu who was there. Why wasn't Orochimaru there? Because after hearing the prophecy from Manda, and Manda being scared and warning him not to even bother with Konoha, Orochimaru agreed and stayed away, and even called back Kabuto and rest of his accomplice from within. He didn't want anyone to be there in Konoha. He could just look at them from afar, and that will be it. He just wanted to see his destruction, and that is what they brought upon themselves, and he was happy about that. So why even bother when someone might do his work? As Zetsu was trying to steal the Nine Tails, before he could do so, Naruto arrived and switched his sword not even letting Zetsu know what hit him. Zetsu didn't even feel pain until his head hit the ground and rolled to see that his body was standing there. Behind him, a kid standing with two swords with flames on them. But the Zetsu turned into three, meaning it was a fake one, as the Zetsu who was original far away gasped and opened his eyes up as he looked at Naruto's direction to see Naruto was staring at him with cold blue eyes as Zetsu dashed away as fast as he could to save his life. As Naruto looked at his siblings' team, "You have the scroll I need." Before they could say thank you, they got on guard. Sasuke was the first one to dash at them. As Naruto sheathed his sword, "I'm not gonna waste my swords on you." As Naruto punched his guts, making him cough a huge amount of blood. As Sasuke was passed out, as Naruto grabbed the scroll as he looked at his siblings with cold blue eyes before he started to walk away. As Menma called, "Naruto, wait!" As Naruto stopped and looked back at them with so much cold eyes that their whole body shut down. They didn't know what to do or think. "Don't you dare say my name. After what you did, you don't have a right to, Uzumaki-san. Oh wait, you're not a part of it anymore. Namikaze's son." With these words, Naruto blurred out of their vision, moving so fast, thanks to his Kenjutsu's practice. As he arrived inside the tower that was in center, he was the first one being there. As he opened the scrolls to reveal it was none other than Kushina. As she looked at her son, Naruto? Naruto didn't say anything, but looked at her with cold eyes. "Why are you here?" "Oh, I'm an instructor in the exam." "I see. I have passed the exam. Now what should I do?" You can rest. The exams won't be over for 5 more days. You will be told after later on." As Naruto began to walk away without saying any words. As he passed by Kushina, Kushina's eyes widened. Why wasn't her son greeting her or saying anything? "Naruto, wait!" Naruto looked back at her, stopping midway. "Please, talk to me, son." "Don't you dare call me son! I'm not your son. That boy died when you took everything away from him. That naive boy is dead. You are nothing to me. Nothing more than a progenitor and a progeny who brought me into this accursed world and left me to my own devices." "Naruto, it isn't like that. Stop calling my name. That makes you familiar with me. You're not familiar with me. You do not know me. To me, you're dead. As good as dead. Get this through your thick skull, Kushina. You're nothing to me. I will kill you if it is a order from my village within a heartbeat. We are enemies, not allies, not family, nothing. And you are the one who caused this, not me. I hope you're happy," Naruto said as he began to walk away, as Kushina was shedding silent tears, knowing well what her son has just said. As Naruto stopped again and said, "For the record, I denounce you as my parents. I will never, ever, ever accept that you too are my parents. I disagree with that." As he began to walk away, as Kushina finally broke down, as that was the time when Minato appeared from the shadows. He was listening in attentively. "Yes, we made a quite big mistake." "Shut up, Minato. Why did you agree?" "But you were the one who did all this. I wasn't going to do that, Kushina. I was just going to send him there. That's all. I should have known better. I should have known better." As this was going on, as Naruto was resting and waiting for the other teams to complete, we go towards Zetsu as he arrived in Amegakure without stopping within one night, as he was panting heavily. As Madara then said, "Calm down, Zetsu. What happened? Ghost caught your tongue?" "No, a sword saint almost did." As almost, immediately Kisame, who was there, stopped, and so did Kakazu, because those two were the oldest ones out there. And so did Madara or Toby, because he had heard the stories. "Sword Saint, what's that?" said Sasori, as Deidara was also interested, and so was Hidan. and Nagato and Conan. Well, a sword saint is a person who can use kenjutsu to an abnormal speed and level that no one can match. It is said that even it can take down ten tails. What? Yes, ten tails broke free, you see. After nine beaches were gathered, I tried to seal them. Or someone that's to change that and said someone tried to seal them and make the ten tails again to control over his powers. It did not go well. As the ten tails was rampaging, a sword saint was passing by. With a single swish of its sword, the neck was cleaved off from its head of the mighty Biju, and the Bijus were separated again. That is why there is a mark on the wooden statue near his neck, right? Said Nagato. Yes. Which village does he belong to? Kumo. And I'm afraid that until he's alive we can't do anything. As Kisame then said, well, I'm officially now going away from this Akatsuki group. Why are you leaving, Kisame? Haven't you heard? A sword saint has emerged. I won't fight him. No, not even for your cause of peace. Because sword saints are hard to deal with, and they can never, ever be beaten by the mediocre skills like ours. As Nagato then said, but he will know pain. The only thing he will feel is your blood on his swords, Nagato. Said Madara, we have to think of a new strategy here. As Itachi then said, as looking towards everyone, what shall we do now? We have little to no time. We will wait. Chunin exams are going on in Konoha, and after they are over and everyone goes back to their village, we will strike then and there. Going from 1 tails to 9 tails, because Kumo holds 2 and 8 tails, it will be difficult, so we will hold them until later on. But for the rest we will go first. But unknown to them, Fate had other plans, as the second team to arrive was a team from Suna, as they saw Naruto resting there. Gaara gritted his teeth, while Temari and Kankuro were quite surprised by this. As Gaara walked towards him with rage that he wasn't the first. You! Who are you? As Naruto opened his eyes, they were cold blue hues. What do you want? As Gaara for the first time felt a huge amount of burden on him, as behind Naruto was a visage of a knight, looking at his prey with cold eyes, as their aura behind him was dark, as even then something happened within him, as Gaara began to cry and shake, as Kankuro and Temari were also scared by this, as they could also see what Gaara was seeing. What do you want? I asked. I will not ask again peacefully, said Naruto, as Gaara then said, Mother says, you're dangerous. You will erase my existence. I have to leave, Gaara said as he began to walk away, as Temari and Kankuro were shocked. Keep your brother and that damn demon on a leash. I will not be lenient next time, Naruto said with a cold, chilling voice, and after that, both of the siblings were gone. 5 days passed, and many teams have arrived into the center tower after that incident, and Team Suna has kept their distance from Naruto, because those eyes, that aura, they will never want to feel it again. That made it look like Shikaku's work was a child's play. As finally, the preliminary rounds began, as the Hokage announced this because of the many guns they had to do preliminary rounds. And then went as in canon. Naruto was faced against Kiba, as Kiba then said, Heh, loser brother who was abandoned by his family. Let's go and see what you can do. Naruto sheathed back his swords that he was about to bring out. Huh? Big mistake, kiddo. You're going down now, loser. As in front of everyone. When the match began, Naruto blurred, as everyone's eyes widened. As the next thing they saw was Kiba launched outside of the stadium through the crater, as all of the body's bones were broken. The Naruto looked at everyone with cold eyes and then at Proctor. The match is over. He will not wake up. He'll die in 10 minutes if you won't save him. As Tsunade appeared behind him and bonked him on the head. You damn idiot, you didn't have to do it that badly. Itai, that hurts, Bachan. Naruto said, a little bit angry that his Bachan wasn't taking his side, and then he sighed. Fine, I apologize. Happy? Good. Why don't you just come back to Kumo and don't even bother siding with them. It's not about siding, Naruto. It's about doing right and wrong. And you took his bait. He was riling you up. And what did he got in return? A punch that sent him straight towards his death door. I know, kiddo, but you have to keep your emotions in check. I promise I will. I promise. After that time went by and Neji and Hinata's match came, even after siblings whose match he ignored openly. As after his display, Benma and Mito knew one thing. The power difference between them and their sibling was then there. They were like a cannon who were fresh out of academy, and he was like a seasoned Anbu agent. And his parents also saw this, and all of those clan heads, civilian council members, and even elders saw this potential that they had let go, and they cannot take it back, no matter how hard they try. It was their loss. As Naruto's team was the only one cheering in the silent stadium, the cursed child that was said and thought by Konoha was strong now, and those eyes, they could kill anyone within a heartbeat. What kind of monster they had created. They didn't want to find out, but how wrong they were. As many of the greedy shinobis and civilians wanted him back already, and they would go to any lengths to achieve that. As after that, we go towards Neji and Hinata's match, as in canon, but Naruto arrived there, kicking Neji in the face, sending him straight towards the wall, as Neji was shocked by this brute strength. Pray to whatever god or fate that you so much lick ass off that we won't meet in the finals. Because if we do, your dead body will be the one that is walking out of this arena. I, as a Kenjutsu master, vow on that name. Naruto said, picking up Hinata's blood and putting it on his hilt of the sword as he healed Hinata. As Neji was being healed because his jaw and skull was cracked. As the Hyuga clan head was quite surprised by the power and the brute strength. Hyuga prodigy, with his Bakugan activated, taken down with a single kick that came out of nowhere. And after that, the lots were drawn, and Naruto was facing against Neji as he gave him a vicious smirk. Good, good. Pray, Hyuga, because this is the last time you will ever have a fight, and you're bragging about fate. As with that laugh, Naruto left, as his team was also scared of him. This side of him, whenever awakened, it was only cause destruction and havoc, nothing else. As Orochimaru was also seeing this from a globe, the prophecy has started to fulfill itself, it seems, Orochimaru-sama. Yes. What do you think, Manda? That is him. That is a sword saint. No doubt, but he is corrupted. He is corrupted by his anger and hatred, which makes him even more dangerous. You should never, ever cross paths with him, Orochimaru. Even if you do, then I won't be there to help you. Imanda, I won't. After seeing this display of power, I'll be a foolish idiot to do that. And I hope Jiraiya and Tsunade are the same as me. As after that, we see Naruto leaving for Konoha's gates to go back to his village because 1 month was given for them for preparations for the finals. As we see Hyuga Hiyashi waiting for him there. I want to talk to you, Uzumaki. I don't have time to listen to your words. Leave. Naruto said as he was about to leave, but Hiyashi grabbed his arm and said, "You will listen to me, boy." And next thing he knew, his arm was on the ground, as blood was seeping out of his arm, as he cried in agony, "You won't touch me, or the next thing that will cleave off from your body will be your head." Naruto said with cold eyes, as Yashi stumbled back, as Kumo's team was already leaving and gone, as Anbus arrived and took him to the hospital. While Naruto trained for 1 month in Kumo and destroyed many dummies that they practiced upon, causing Raikage a huge headache and a huge budget disorientation, we go back to Konoha's council chamber to see that everyone was gathered there. "We have to take him back," said some of the civilians. "We need that power, Minato," said Danzo. "We need to execute him. He is way beyond powerful. Look what he did to my son." "To be honest, Tizumi, your son had it coming," said Shikaku. And we as well. We are the ones who suggested that we should lump him because he's an idiot and no name man on them. But he turns out to be a sword saint. The one we thought was a myth. We saw his power and brute strength. He was even able to cleave off Hiyashi's head without even him noticing with a sword, for God's sake. How do you intend we stop that kind of monster? By putting him down. That will be not good, said Jiraiya as he arrived there. Jiraiya sensei, why are you here? I'm here to say two things. One, you're making a big mistake. The future is not validated yet. The prophecy is still there, but the future is uncertain. The destruction, you will be the one to befall upon you. And the next thing is that Orochimaru. He was innocent, sensei. He was betrayed by Danzo. Everything was Danzo's and the elders' doing. And as for why I'm here, well, aside from these things, I want to resign from Konoha's duty, and Hime has already done that as well. He said, dropping two headbands there. What? Why? Well, the Toads and the Slug has given us both a chance. Either side with them, with Naruto, or against them. And losing their strength and be on our own selves and be with you. And we decided with them because we knew what you did. And to be honest, I'm disappointed in all of you. And our ancestors. What might they be thinking right now? They might be rolling in their graves for what we have done. As after that, Jiraiya and Tsunade left, taking everything that they owned in Konoha. As Minato and everyone was left devastated, and Danzo and everyone else was executed, but unknown to them, Danzo had already made plans if anything like that happened. As we go to a time skip, 1 month later, we arrive at the stadium to see a Neji who was nervous but still arrogant as ever as Naruto arrived there. Now that the both participants are here, are you ready? Ever then ready. You should disqualify Uzumaki. You're a failure. You caught me off guard. I might thank you for that, but you will not catch me off guard now. Fight! As Naruto disappeared again. As this time his Byakugan was activated, but he fell to the ground and felt immense pain from down from his knees to see that there was nothing there. His legs have been chopped off clean. Now, Yuga, what can your all eyes do that can see everything? Oh, the mist, right? Now, how about I do this? Naruto said, thrusting both of his katanas in both of his chakra coils that were inside his arms, as he hissed in huge amount of pain, as cries were heard, as Hinata stopped him. Naruto, please stop. Please, don't kill him. See? She's innocent. She's kind-hearted, and you make fun of that. Well, there are many people out there like me who will do anything, just anything, to cleave the heads of likes of you. As Naruto then thrusted his swords outwards and seated his katana. I'm done here. As the proctor said, the match winner is Naruto Uzumaki, and Neji is disqualified because of his complications, and he cannot fight anymore. As Hinata bowed as Naruto did nothing and went back to his team. As matches went at his cannon, as only Gaara and Naruto remained, and Menma. It was three-way match. Until the match was about to begin, Gaara said, I want to disqualify myself. I don't want to fight him. He's a monster. Okay, Gaara has been disqualified. As suddenly Kakashi and Sasuke arrived. As unknown to them, Itachi, Uchiha, and Kisame were watching this. Because Itachi was scared of his brother's foolishness. Oh, please don't do anything foolish, Sasuke. And that is what he did. He said, I will fight instead of him. But you are disqualified because you are late. I don't care. I will fight. I'm an Uchiha, an elite. And this no-name shit comes out of nowhere and beats me. Catching me off guard, but not this time. Now I'll get the dope, and he will pay for the shame that he has brought upon me. As Menma then says, Sasuke, keep your head cool. Shut up, Menma. You don't know what it feels like to lose someone who's inferior to you. And I'll show him how inferior he is. Unknown to them, two Akatsuki members were watching this. Kisame and Itachi. Foolish little brother. You're making a mistake. As his Sharingan activated, and so did Sasuke's. Fight! As Naruto disappeared and arrived in front of him.
as Sasuke couldn't even see him move with his Sharingan. The next thing he saw, both of his arms were on the ground, as blood was seeping out. As he screamed, Naruto kicked him on the back and stabbed his sword in his backbone. Stay down. Now, why don't we have a chat, big brother? Naruto said as he blurred again, as he slashed Menma on the chest, as Menma was hugging his chest on the ground on his all fours. Ah, the mighty Menma, son of Namikaze, on his knees, crawling like an insect. Shit stain, Naruto said, as the whole crowd was looking at this, as they were scared. Is this the power of a sword saint? They wanted it. As many of the Anbus arrived, this was Danzo's. You have harmed our shinobis, and for that you will be executed, or sealed away. As swords arrived in the air in front of everyone, and thrusted themselves into the justice of all the Anbus who were there. Do you think I'll go down that easy? Danzo. As Naruto summoned two swords which were black and disappeared, the next thing Danzo knew, he was cut off. As for the Danzo who was executed, he was a fake one. The original has hidden himself completely as a civilian council member, as he has emerged yet again. As the civilian turned, shedding skin into Danzo, as Hiruzen said, "You disgust me to no end. We executed wrongfully a civilian council member, and it should have been like that, not this way. This power belongs to Konoha, not to any other village. I refuse to believe it. You better believe it. Now go to hell finally. Hell burn." As the swords ignited in black flames, Danzo screamed in agony, as there was nothing, not even his ashes, left there. As Itachi couldn't take it anymore and jumped down. "You have hurted my brother. For that I cannot forgive you, Naruto. I know that what life you have went through is unfortunate, but I cannot forgive you. Itachi Uchiha, the member of Akatsuki. After you're dead, I'll extract the information where that base is and destroy it myself." As many swords emerged, as it went towards Kisame. "Let's have a dance, shall we?" as Madara would have said. Naruto said with a cruel smirk, as the match between both the shinobis began. Itachi casted Genjutsu after Genjutsu, but Naruto broke through it, as Itachi knew he had to go on offensive, as he summoned his Susanoo swords, as he was fighting with them, and matching speed and brutality of Naruto. "Please stop this, Naruto. You are the one who started this. I had nothing to do with you. You brought yourself into this mess, Itachi. I didn't. I cannot let you kill him. I'm not going to. He's already miserable." As Itachi gritted his teeth, "I know, and that is more than enough for me. For his ego to be hurt, for him to forever be scarred, remembering that he lost to one who he thought was inferior to him. Not all Uchihas were mighty. They were wiped out by you, and you'll be the one who will be wiped out by me." As Naruto said, "Phoenix Blade, what?" "Phoenix Slash," as the Susanoo that was imperfect was slashed through, as Itachi was cut in half. A huge amount of blood leaked out of his mouth as he was on the ground. As Sasuke was seeing this, Naruto walking towards him, dragging his sword, as Menma was on the ground still. As huge amount of chakra of Kyuubi started to seep out, as Kyuubi emerged. Menma was now unconscious as the Kyuubi was finally out there, the Yang side. "I'm finally free, thanks to you, Ningen, but now you have to die. Really now." Long swords, as many long swords emerged, as Naruto moved his hand forward towards Kyuubi, as the swords pointed towards him from all directions. As he closed his fist, swords rushed down towards the mighty Biju, impaling him all together. But he didn't leak out blood, but he hissed in pain. Is the mighty Nine Tails afraid of a little Ouchie? You're a sword saint. Ding dong. Your question is rightfully answered by yourself. Yes, I am. What of it? I should have known. Leave me alone. I have done nothing to harm you, but you did. You just made an enemy out of me. As the whole Konoha was shocked to make a Biju whimper in pain. This power was too strong and terrifying. Even the Kumo's team was scared of Naruto. Naruto, stop this, please! As Naruto looked at Yujito, Karui and Samuyo were seeing this and were scared. As Naruto's eyes were, I'm sorry. As Naruto dashed away after finding out that what he did, as QB disappeared, as Menma emerged with a huge scar on his chest, laying there on the ground, as Kumo's team went after him. Winner of the Chunin exams, by default, Naruto Uzumaki, said Ibiki Morito, was shocked, and now he knew why he feels so unnerved in the first stage. As Naruto was outside of Konoha, dashing towards Kumo, as the Kumo teams were rushing after him, as Yuito turned into Matatabe to dash after him, as they came at the same pace. Naruto, stop, please, said Kari, as Naruto stopped finally, as he was crying. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. That's alright, kitten. Matatabe? Is that you? Yes. I apologize for my sibling's behavior. He is quite egotistical. I am sorry. I should be the one who's saying sorry. Because of me that... No, it's alright, little kitten. I know what kind of life you have been through. And honestly, I'm surprised that you have kept sane for so long. And looks like your anger is depleting rapidly. But I have to get after Akatsuki. They need to be killed. As for Kisame, the swords have extracted their memory. I know where to go. Would you guys follow me? Yes, said Team B. As Akatsuki didn't knew what hit them. They were chilling in Amegakure one moment, and next moment there was destruction everywhere. As Pain was gone, dead. Original was killed as his boss were dead. Nagato was dead. Konan next. And then Hidan died, being impaled by immortal swords, killing the immortal altogether. Then Kakazu was next, who was scared shitless, and then Sasori and Deidara came. And then came the Zetsu, who was tortured before killing him. Tobi was left, who was scared and hiding, as a sword impaled right next to him. You thought I left you alive, huh? And forgot about you. Think again, Obito. As Naruto thrusted his sword into his neck, as it caused a huge crater on the wall, cracking it. But Obito was dead. Now Akatsuki was dead, as Naruto burned down all of their bodies so that no one could get their hands on these type of dojutsus which are legendary. And after that, Naruto went back to Kumo to rest and to calm down. Many years passed after that. Almost 8 years. Konoha hadn't forgotten what Hasward's Satan done to them, and they were enraged. And they wanted his powers back or him gone altogether, and they have joined all the rest of the villages and marched towards Kumo. As Naruto was the Raikage now, as his wives, which were Samui, Karui, and Yujito, were also there. As Biden said, Raikage, bad news, the 4 villages have gathered outside. As Naruto arrived outside, as Minato was standing there, looking at him with steel eyes. Naruto, please surrender, or you will be killed. What if I surrender? What will happen? You will be executed, unfortunately. Your power is too great. They shouldn't exist. I see. As Naruto then made a hand motion which caused everyone to shiver as millions upon millions of swords arrived in the sky. As Naruto pointed at all of them. As he closed his fist. As instantly many millions of shinobis died, laid to ground, to rest, to waste. Only the Kages were alive, as many swords arrived behind his back, as 2 were in his hand. There, your army is wiped out, now what will you do? As the Kages were now even more scared. A person who could in a blink of an eye eradicate so many shinobis. What kind of monster they were dealing with? Was it that much of an arrogant? Yes, you are that arrogant. As before Naruto could do anything, Kushina and Menma and Mito arrived in front of them. Please, we don't want to hurt you. You would march here at my village gates with millions upon millions shinobis and say you don't want to hurt me. No, it was your father's choice. He was forced here. Good, now I know who to harm. As Naruto gathered as many chakra as he could, as 5 used swords that could be seen through everywhere emerged. that are our villages. What are you going to do? That is a nuclear sword that will explode. As Naruto thrusted his hand downwards and everyone screamed no. And the next thing they saw, 5 huge explosions that shook the earth as they felt even the vibrations up there. What did you do? What did you do, damn it? Said Onigi. There is no village for you to rule. You are not even Kage anymore. You have no home. You have nothing. Just like me. I hope you enjoy the rest of your life. This is the mercy that I can give you. But if you cross my path again, you will pay with your lives. As Naruto turned back and disappeared, leaving the 4 people who were there. Mei, Minato, his family, and Oniki, and Gara, and his siblings just standing there. As every Kage turned towards Minato and his family. This is all your fault. Your village trialed us against this monster, and look what happened. We have nothing left thanks to you and your family. I, you, you are nothing more than a curse, said Oniki, as after one by one, each and every one of them left. Like a nomad, traveling God knows where, as Minato and his family stood there. As they finally realized how Naruto felt all those years ago, when they abandoned him. A no-name people who couldn't do anything. As the 3 Sanins who were in Otogakure also saw this. It seems that the prophecy has been fulfilled. Isn't that right, Manda? It has, Orochimaru. But the peace era is about to begin. If you make alliance out of him, then the peace is surely to be brought upon you. But if you make an enemy, the same fate might happen. Good. As after that, only 3 villages remain. Otogakure, Snow Country, the Land of Waves, and their leader, Raikage's village, Naruto's village, Kumo Gakure. This is the story of the Sword Saint of Kumo Gakure, Naruto Uzumaki, the Mighty Blade. As this is where I'm going to be leaving the story of, guys. I hope you like this one, and if you do, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you like the content of this channel. As this is Apollo Uchiha, and I'm signing out. Peace.